Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about the 8 trigrams or the Pa Kwa. So the point of today's video is to help you look at the 3 lines that come out from your reading, and you're able to tell which trigram it is immediately without referring to some sort of chart or guideline. So this is my method of how I remember each trigram to be what image, and then I can look at the book itself and be able to tell which hexagram to look at. So we all know, I assume that you guys already know what yin and yang is, but maybe I can go through it quickly again. Yin and yang. So yin is the darkness, the cloudiness, things that are more feminine in nature, more passive, and yang is the sunny side of the hill. It's the one that it's about brightness, it's about movement and energy. So I think we have to keep that in mind. So when we look at the trigram, each line can be either a broken line or a whole line. So a broken line would correspond to a yin line, and a full unbroken line would be corresponding to the yang, in yin and yang, so yin and yang in Chinese. So I think this is the basis of how we will approach each trigram. So I think I want to go through the trigrams in pairs. So maybe I'll talk about first the kun and also the qian. Kun is made up of 3 broken lines. So when we think about broken lines, do we see? We see yin, a lot of yin. And what does yin mean? Yin is passive, yin is unmoving. So when you see 3 broken lines, there is only stillness and quietness. And if you see the broken line, you see the break in between is like something deep, like a well. So when I think about 3 yin lines, the first thing that comes to me is earth. So when you see 3 broken lines, you will see earth, you will think of kun. As for qian, it's made up of 3 yang lines or yang lines. And what do you think about that? You think of it's all motion, there's no movement at all, it's all just a burst of energy. And what comes to mind is heaven, right? Because heaven is full of energy, and these 2 are the easiest trigrams to remember, right? Earth and heaven. So this is the first pair I want to go through. The second pair that I would like to go through is dui and gen. So dui, what is actually dui made of? Dui is made of 2 yang lines at the bottom and 1 broken line at the top, which is a yin line. So you think about that. The image of movement at the bottom and some sort of passiveness on top. So what is placid on top and then there's full of life at the bottom? You think of a lake, right? A lake is generally very placid on top. You don't see what's happening below, but at the bottom there's so much life and so much energy, all the fishes and the seaweed. So when I see 2 yin lines at the when I see 2 yang lines at the bottom, and I see a yin line on top, I think about dui, which is the lake. The opposite of that is actually gen. Gen is made up of one yang line on top and 2 yin lines at the bottom. So why does this conjure up the thought of a mountain? A gen is mountain. Well, if you think of a mountain, it's sturdy, it's strong, it's unmoving. So 2 yin lines at the bottom. But at the top of the mountain, especially in Chinese paintings and things like that, you see clouds and wind actually going through the tops of the mountain. So when it's unmoving at the bottom, but right at the very top, there's some movement. That is gen, that's the mountain. So when I see 2 yin lines at the bottom and 1 yang line on top, I think of gen, the mountain. The next trigram I want to talk about is li and kan. So li and kan, they are the opposites basically. Li has to do with fire and kan has to do with water. So what is the trigram of li? It is actually yang, yin and yang. And when you see this, what do you think of? Movement on the side and a stillness in the middle. This actually makes me think of a candle flame, moving and wavering in the wind, and yet that the wick, or let's just say the center of the fire, is unmoving. It's a core that provides all the energy and all the movement on the sides. So when I see a yang yin yang combination, I think of li, I think of fire. As for kan, water, what is it made of? It's a yin yang yin. So yin yang yin, yang, yin. Why does that actually conjure up the image of water? I think about a river, right? Where the sides are actually cordoned off. There's earth that is unmoving, and yet there's such a rush of water in the middle, you know, such a rush of energy. So yin, one side of the earth, yang, the water rushing through, and then the other side, the other bank of the river. So when I see a yin, yang, yin combination, I think about kan, I think about water. And then now to the final pair of trigrams I want to talk about is actually zhen and xin. So zhen is thunder. It is a yang line at the bottom and two yin lines on top. So when I mean, you already know, I have really been talking about this. The yang line is movement, yin lines are actually non-movement. So how does this conjure up the image of thunder? I think in Chinese, right, it's not so much as thunder, but more of zhen, the action of striking, the action of the rumbling, you know, the power that hits the ground. So thunder comes when it comes unseen, you know. Lightning comes unseen. It's just a flash. There is no movement. You don't expect it, but you feel the impact on the ground. And that's why at the bottom there's a yang line. You feel the impact. You feel that boom. You don't see the, you know, the flash of lightning. You are not prepared. So on top, at the air, you don't feel a thing. But once the impact hits the ground, you feel it. And that's thunder. Yang, yin, yin. Okay, about xin. It is a yin line at the bottom and two yang lines on top. So how do you correlate this to wind? I think about grass, you know, being firmly rooted to the ground, right? But the blades themselves are actually brushed by the wind. So yin, yang, yang, right? Non-movement at the bottom, rooted, and yet the blades are actually moving through. So that is what xin is. This is really quite a short video, but if you're interested, maybe we can discuss more in future. And I just wanted to share how I actually memorize what each trigram tries to conjure in your mind. So I hope after this video, you're able to see the three trigram, the three lines that form a trigram, and are able to immediately recall what kind of image that's supposed to be. Yeah, let me know if this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys again. Bye!